It's Thanksgiving Eve. It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, episode 101. You'd think I'd have this figured out by now, but we focus on all things weather, and today, usually we do it on a Thursday, but because we have the holiday tomorrow, we're giving away 22 free pizzas today. 12 will go to one individual, one per month. That's essentially pizza for a year, and then we'll give out 10 individual pizzas to So people who've put their name in the drawing, it's randomly selected by our sales team, so I don't have much to say about it, but I do have it now on my computer so I can reveal those names at the top of this hour. Because it's now 7:40, pizza winners will be announced at 8 o'clock straight up. Let me show you what we're seeing. In terms of tonight, it's just gratitude. You don't have to wait till tomorrow to be thankful because, as I said before, every day is a gift. But let me just show you what I love. Maybe you love. You love Portsmouth? Oh, I love Portsmouth. I love all the towns. I've been to so many towns lately. I've been to now 12 towns in my roughly 10 months of being here. And I've had a chance to just kind of canvas, take 80 photographs of these towns. Love it because I learned so much. People who've been to these towns learn, and people who look through my Facebook pages get a chance to see some of these towns up close and personal, but Newport News was the last one I did. But I'm going to go back to the weather because we have a lot to be loving about this area. We've had 2 days now in the 70s. Now, the big difference tomorrow is it's going to be significantly cooler. The normal high this time of year is 59. Yeah. We're not going to be at 59 tomorrow. Now, to be fair, maybe 56, 58-ish around midnight to 2 a.m. Repeat, midnight to 2 a.m. It's an upside down day. We've got a cold front, a second one coming through, but we'll be lucky to bounce back up to 52 by day. So this would represent a daytime high. See how I did that? Sleight of hand. Could be in the upper 50s before 3 a.m., but I'd say midnight to 2 as the front goes through. But we're going to be 43, so if you're preparing a meal, and by 10 o'clock, you can smell it. You know what I'm saying? You go into the kitchen, you go, that smells good. May I dabble into this? No, you've got to wait till we're all served, that type of thing. But the smell, the beautiful smell that might be involving a mom, a grandmom, or you personally, whoever's cooking, be thankful for them. But 50 at noon, if you're eating at that time, plenty of gratitude, mostly clear skies. I love that. Maybe you do too. And if you look really closely, I even have some leftovers expectations from 5 to 8 when you might be grazing over the turkey tray once again, 48, 43. Winds are picking up. I suspect we'll be in the 30s for feels-like temperatures. And yes, I did say feels-like temperatures could easily be in the 30s tomorrow evening because it's eventually going to drop into the 20s. Did you just say, what, 20s? 20s for shoppers. Shopper, it's like the special alert. But yes, you'll have some opportunities to get in the 20s as we head through the time. Let me show you the weather headlines because I want to mention my sponsor a little bit here in a moment too. But Thanksgiving Day, much cooler, plenty of sunshine, colder air for shoppers. Wind chills in the 20s, 30s in the afternoon. And the next chance of rain will come later Sunday afternoon and evening. If this is a news flash for you, it's just what happens, right? It's up and down. We're going to talk a little bit more about the stratospheric warming event and how and why I think it's going to be significantly colder around Christmas and New Year's. Oh, you didn't just say that again. You said that out loud on a hot microphone. I know I did. Hot mic. I did say that. I think it's going to be significantly cold again as we head closer to Christmas itself. Now, we've got some folks who might be still in the air trying to get to Hampton Roads. Clearly, when you have these green airplanes flying around, you can see that there's no real delays here. These are average airport delays, less than 15 minutes or so. Not a big deal. Southeast here, Orlando looks good. Miami's a different story. But Tampa, Jacksonville, no big worries here. But if we expand the view, there is a big slowdown in Miami at 29 minutes, roughly. But the bigger spot would be Chicago. Now, I know what some of you are thinking if you watched me yesterday. You said Chicago's going to have problems on the way back. Well, they're having problems today with just some snow in the area, mainly north of Chicago. But I definitely think they're going to have bigger problems Saturday into Sunday. And I've mentioned why. A big snowstorm. It's going to be affecting Chicago, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Milwaukee, if you have any family up in this area. So headaches are just beginning to build. For those of you that have a connecting flight in Chicago this weekend, Saturday into Sunday, it'll start Saturday morning for the snow to roll into that part of the neighborhood. In fact, I'll show you this real quick. Go back to the maps here. This represents tomorrow. around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll take you through Sunday. So as we head into Friday, that's what Friday looks like, snowing in the Dakotas. Then we go into Saturday, it's already snowing in Chicago. Oh my goodness. Do you really think they could get 6 to 12 inches with some isolated 15-inch amounts? I do. Now, I've said before, how long do you think that'll take for them to clear off the runway? They're pretty proficient with snow. I don't want to underestimate their skill set, but it's still going to slow down a lot of folks who might have plane tickets on that Thanksgiving return flight. Sunday is a big travel day, could be the biggest travel day on record. That's what at least the experts on travel are saying. But that looks like a big snow event for me, for Chicago, Peoria, Milwaukee, even Detroit could get in on the act. Indianapolis could get in on the act, but the bigger snows might work their way up toward the Northeast. It's not going to snow here, but I did want to mention that all the same. Did I tell you we're giving away free cheesy bread? Oh, you knew I'd be working some free stuff. WTKR, cheesy with a Z, is the easiest way to get free cheesy bread. Only the first 100 can participate, meaning the first 100 out the door, one per household, no purchase necessary. If you haven't tried Marco's before, this would be a great starter item, I would suggest. Now, there are 6 locations that are participating in the free cheesy bread, and there are 6 locations you see on the screen that are giving away free pizza. Normally we do this on Thursdays, but today is a special day before a holiday. Go to our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos. You can sign up. You might win the pizza for a year certificate today. Your name might be drawn, and I'll be announcing that in about 14 minutes from now. But whether it's a Pozzoli like a calzone or a Magnifico pizza, one topping pepperoni is delish. You'll definitely want to try that. And if to satisfy your appetite, I encourage you to check out Marco's. If you're on the call, I want to come back on camera here and just reassess and reevaluate who might be on this call. I had a note from Gary Gaines, one of our neighborhood weather watchers. He had noted here, and I thought this was kind of an interesting comment. He said, just watching your podcast, the live stream people, can learn so much about the weather. I'm continually learning about the weather, being a weather watcher. Thank you, David Aldrich Weather. My pleasure. I think he's referring to the sudden stratospheric warming and how some of this can have a 30-day delay, even sometimes 40, say 30 to 40-day delay, much like I've used the analogy of a stand-up paddleboarder who might be on the waves thinking the forecast was good, the forecast was for sunny weather, but I didn't know that this speedboat was going to go and then suddenly make up big waves. And then you fall off your paddleboard and you're like, that surprised me. Didn't see that coming. Well, the problem is, as we'll look at the latest atmosphere in the stratosphere, 6 to 31 miles up, it does show more signs of significant cold air coming back down even in time for New Year's. So I'll get back to that in a moment. But if you're on the call, we'd love to say hi to you. Let me give you some ideas of what this looks like. If you think Chicago's got issues tonight, and they do, they've got some delays, imagine what's going to happen on Saturday night into Sunday. Even Saturday afternoon, if they can keep up with it. I mean, looky. You can see the colors. They're even brighter today than they were yesterday from the European model. They would suggest 6 to 12. And where there's purple, it's probably 12. And with some blowing and drifting, there might be some isolated 15 amounts. But even if they got 10 or 11, do you know what that would remember? Do you remember what that was like? Of course you do. You were here February 19th of this year in Virginia Beach, in Norfolk. You had 10, 11 inches. So imagine that type of storm hitting Chicago. Now again, they are used to this type of thing. This is what they're like. I lived in Rochester, New York. They do snow. This is what they do. But still, it's a holiday. Everything has to be on time. It's like synchronized swimming, right? Except this is synchronized snowfall. It's coming in on time, but it's not going to help the flights trying to get in and out of Chicago on time. That's what I'm afraid of. Let's check in with you. I want to see if I check in back on the snow here, go back on the full screen. Yeah, there's some definite snow here that's going to have some implications on travel, no doubt. Just checking in the post to see if there's any new comments that might be watching. I know it's Thanksgiving Eve. I understand people are busy and they've got other things to do, but I do have some comments. If you have questions, let me know. I'll do my best Let's see. Lynn Ola's on here. I got a buddy how many phone calls have you been on with me now, Lynn, with this live stream? Maybe a half dozen or more. I would say he's like one of my newer friends. I've got now Taj Brown, who I've never met personally, but he comes on. Taj Brown, and of course, Kim Thompson-Jones. Denmark comes on occasionally. I get Jessica Lynn on occasion. But I like to say Lynn is an old friend now. But he is saying all the important people and fans are on this call. If you're watching, we're going to talk more about the stratospheric warming event here in just a moment. But I have to give away pizza in about 11 minutes, so I'm going to try and get down the road so that shoppers know what to expect and you know what to expect in terms of this upcoming weekend. So that's the snow potential. It's only factored in here. I'm looking at Kalamazoo, South Bend, Indiana. These places are going to get buried in snow in the coming days. This is a Saturday, Sunday event, so it's bound to have a ripple effect on travel. By the way, 3 areas of low pressure. One up in Maine, one in northern New York State, and one in northern Michigan. All of this is to say we've got one front that's passed that took the rain out. We have cold air here the fact that Chicago's got delays today is probably simply a fact that they've had so much travel, right? Everyone's busting at the seams because every flight is probably fully booked. And then you have over here, I'm going to come back on camera a second. I want to fly back in here. This is the storm system that's going to produce the snow Saturday and Sunday. So if you could just cut and paste, this is the moisture. Cold air is already in Chicago. This is going to slide down Montana into the Dakotas, and then come Saturday, shazam. So boom, you got some big snow. That's all coming eventually. But for us back home, we're going to wait for our winds to change direction. They're out of the southwest right now, so we're still in the 60s. But once that wind changes from southwest to northwest, the front will have passed, and we're going to be cooling more rapidly after, say, 11 o'clock tonight. Early tomorrow morning, we'll be in the upper 30s, low 40s. Upper 30s, low 40s tomorrow morning when you start your Thanksgiving day itself. And the secondary front clearly is still back toward Raleigh and Blackstone at this point. How much rain did you get today? That's a good question. Let me know. If you have a rain gauge, you can let me know if you only got 0.03 of an inch, like Smithfield. Maybe you just got a drop or two in Hampton, or 0.06 in Portsmouth. But they did pick up almost a ½ inch in Wallops Island. That looks like the big winner for the biggest amount of rain, followed up by Middlesex County, Saluda, maybe Matthews County coming in under a 1/4 inch, but Norfolk just 0.02. That's 0.02. That's hardly any, but I had some rain coming into work today. And I probably was under that rain cloud. Now, rain chances don't return until Sunday later afternoon and evening, so we have dry weather, albeit cold, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, here's another good point to remind people. Cold air is usually dry. So even though I'm expecting colder air in time for Christmas, it's going to have to come together with all the ingredients to make possibly a white Christmas, because people will make that leap. They make it very easily. Oh, it's cold, it means we're getting snow. Doesn't always mean that way. We're going to get some cold air Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and by the time this moisture comes in on Sunday, it's warm enough, low 60s, upper 50s, to be rain and only rain. So we're not going to worry about snow in the short term, but the cold air will be knocking on your door and mine in just a few short hours, if not days, because the high temperatures I'm going to show you in a moment, these are the lows. These are the lows, and just in the fact that it's below freezing on Saturday makes, I think, shoppers, their teeth will chatter. Right? If you're trying to get to small town shoppers on Saturday, Cyber Monday, I guess Black Friday, you got all these different labels. I can't keep track of it all. Maybe you do. But tomorrow morning at 41, that would be typical for this time of year. 41 is a normal low for this time of year and will be slightly above on Cyber Monday. But Saturday looks like it's the coldest morning, and both days will have lows, wind chills back in the 20s. You need more proof? Look at this. Looky, 7 a.m. on Friday. I know there's going to be people out at the stores at that point. They're trying to find the best deals, and they will have earned it. They will have earned it because they had to embark outside and endeavor this cold air. So 25, you think that's the lowest point? Think again. Let's go to Saturday. That's midday. 35 is the afternoon. So even though I'm expecting a 45-degree high on Friday, let's stay on this one. Friday, 45 degrees, I expect the high. It's going to feel like it's 35. So it's going to feel like it's 10 degrees colder. It's academic. Dress for how it's going to feel. It's going to feel pretty cold. Now, if we advance this to Friday night, back in the mid-20s. So if you stay up and you're getting up early Saturday morning for other types of special deals, it feels like it's in the low 20s, 22 in Southside, 21 in inland North Carolina, Albemarle. It's cold. Even the Outer Banks will be close to freezing in terms of wind chill, and the Eastern Shore at 23, Peninsula's 27, 23, 27. It's just cold. There's just no getting around it, and even in the afternoon, it doesn't improve that much beyond the 30s. So the temperature trend really, I mean, to say it's going to be 45 and 44, it really doesn't tell the story. And I think what makes it worse, or maybe more harsh to take, is the fact we've had 2 days in the 70s. We got to 72 today. In Norfolk, we got to 71 yesterday. So 2 days in the 70s. I'm spoiled. I don't know about you. Maybe you're spoiled, but that's where things are going to be. Once we have to have a reality check, we're going back to I need to find my heaviest coat. Perhaps that might be the way you're thinking heading into Friday and to Saturday. So just checking in with you, looking at, again, normal high this time of year is in fact 59. Now the next chance of rain will come in on Tuesday, Sunday into Tuesday. Sunday, if I could rewind this, I would. But generally, you're looking at let's see if I could basically suggest that come Tuesday, this low that's over Alabama will work its way into Georgia and slide more rain into our town. So we'll look at this again later in this live stream, but I just want to highlight the fact that we will get some rain. Probably a break on Monday. Monday looks mostly sunny as the whole front passes by, but it comes back as a warm front on Tuesday. All right, low temperatures this morning, 62. I think that is now our current temperature, if I'm not mistaken, because it was 63 at 2:04 in the morning. And I'm just checking in here. I believe that is the case. Yes, 62 was our temperature at 6 o'clock. So we're coming up on, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock it was 63, 62. So this is actually the lowest temperature we're at now is where we are presently. It was 64 in Hampton. It was 57 in Ahoskie. But you look at our high of 72. That occurred at 11 a.m. straight up. 11 a.m. straight up was when we hit 72. And again, some areas did hit 74, like Edenton. I believe Windsor also hit 74. So you had to go all the way further south to find that warmth. It wasn't everywhere, but certainly low 70s were far more common, no doubt. Just checking in with you. If you got a comment, you have a thought, you have something you want to have magnified, I'll do my best. Kim Thompson-Jones actually magnifying, I think, what everybody's thinking right now. Crazy weather. In fact, it is crazy. Crazy enough, the fact that we don't know how to dress unless we're having a scorecard. So I, again, encourage you to download our free First Warning Weather app. It's available at the App Store, Google Play. You go to WTKR.com/apps. It will also show up there. If you don't have it, you can get this information at your fingertips. Now, when we look at our highs today, this is all distant memory now. So we're looking at our current conditions. We've got virtually clear skies, if not fair skies in many cases. Clear skies, fair, would suggest maybe a few high thin cirrus clouds. But the upper air pattern, I want to start tomorrow morning at 9. So this cold air we're talking about affecting Chicago with the big storm. This is going to take you through Friday. Let me maybe put a pause point in here. More warmth comes in on Sunday. And then the really cold air is up here. I want to focus on this for a second, and then we'll get into the pizza winters. Look at how cold these things kind of rotate around like spokes or in a wheel. So it just comes and goes. But prepare for cold down the road as it will come back and reunite going down the road. I got a note from Lynn. He's excited. I think he's excited about the Thanksgiving pizza. Oh, yes, some pizza. Oh, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and start. This would be a good pause point because I'm going to get more into the sudden stratospheric warming event here in just mere moments. But let's get to the pizza winners. Maybe a drum roll, please, because we've got a couple of things first. I want to give away the 10 individual pizzas, and then we're going to give away this pizza for a year certificate. That'll be the grand prize winner of the week. Let's start with number 1. We'll call it one free, large, one-topping Marco's Pizza. Keep in mind that these certificates, as we like to do, will be mailed through the U.S. Post Office, so you should be getting that. If you get tired of turkey after Friday and you've gone through all the leftovers, hopefully the pizza certificate will be in your mailbox in due time. But the number 1 and number 2 in no particular order would be Alice Stone of Chesapeake. Congratulations, Alice. If you're watching us live, please leave us a comment. Would love to know if we have called your name and you're watching live. How cool would that be? We'd certainly make note of that. Clara Strait from Hampton is also a winner of one free, large, one-topping pizza. Don't have room for the one topping, but that's implied. So if you like maybe a pepperoni, maybe you like green pepper, sausage, mushroom, what have you, you can pick and choose that one topping yourself. And number 3 and 4 on the screen now would be Donna Harper. of Virginia Beach. Congratulations, Donna. You just won a free Marco's Pizza. And Ibera Batson of Chesapeake. Nice to see you. You also won a free large Marco's Pizza with 1 topping. But we're not done there. We're going to give away 10. So we got number 5, 6 on the screen. Julio Izguerre. Did I say that right? Virginia Beach. Karen Etheridge of Kitty Hawk. Boy, is that a drive. But hey, Karen, good news here. If you are, in fact, coming, I was going to say, if you're having to do a long drive and it's like way over here, you get a free pizza. It's worth your drive to drive from Kitty Hawk once in a while. Maybe you come up to Chesapeake. I'm thinking your closest store might very well be this one over here that's now open, the South Battlefield Boulevard or the Kempsville Road if you're in Kitty Hawk. But I got to get back to the winners here because we do have Julio now and Karen announced. We need number 7 and number 8. Could we get them on the screen? There they are. Liliana Santiago of Chesapeake just won a free pizza from Marco's with 1 topping. And, Michael Knapp. Michael Knapp, that's what I'll be doing after a lot of turkey, is taking a nap. But Michael just won a free large Marco's Pizza from Virginia Beach. Very happy that you're one. Congratulations if you've tried Marco's before, or maybe it's your first time. We hope that you'll enjoy what's coming your way. And please, please don't throw those certificates away when you get them in the mail. It's not junk mail. You'd be throwing food away. That would be terrible. And last but not least, I believe we have, who do we have here? We have number 9 and number 10, Robert Mealy of Virginia Beach and Wesley Bailey. Congratulations to both of you. Wesley Bailey, Robert Mealy, our 2 Virginia Beach winners for 9 and 10. No particular order, but just wanted to announce that your certificate will be mailed by way of the post office. Now, I like to reset because one of the things we like to do is give away the big winners, so all we're missing now would be maybe some confetti. Alrighty, so number 1, the big winner for a large pizza. Actually, that should be a large. This is actually not a large. This is the right one. The free Marco's Pizza for a year. We've delayed no further. Here it is. It's Kemp Morris. You mean Kemp Morris from Suffolk just won free pizza for like 12 pizzas with a topping each? Yep, and yep. So Kemp, congratulations to you. Another reason to be thankful. Our friends at Marco's would like to award you this wonderful certificate. We've shown you what this looks like, but Kemp Morris's name will go in the upper left-hand corner. When he receives his certificate, he'll be able to use it for November, so should he get it before the 30th, which is, of course, Sunday. December 1st, the first day of meteorological winter, he might get it in December. He could do it here, but then he would get 12 additional or 11 additional pies right through October, November of next year. So very happy that our friend Kemp Morris, congratulations to you, and congratulations to all the winners. Kemp has just won free Marco's Pizza for a year. I'm always excited to be able to do this on a Wednesday, if not normally a Thursday, but glad to have you watching. And if you are, make sure Kemp knows that he has pizza. Maybe he'll share. I can only hope he will share. And I also want to thank all of our individual pizza winners, 1 through 10, Alice, Clara, Donna, Ibera, Julio, Karen, Liliana, Michael, Robert, and also Wesley. So thank you so much for playing along, and we're going to get back to the weather. That's also very important, so we're going to do that. If other comments, any follow-ups, did I get any? Oops, I'm getting crazy weather from Kim Thompson-Jones, and I also see, let's see here, Joey Lee wants to know if we're getting any snow coming to Moyock. The answer is no. Did you get some snow on Veterans Day in the morning before the sun came up? I know that some areas of North Carolina say they had 1 to 2 inches. But at least at Norfolk International, we picked up 0.2 on Veterans Day. And I'm still on that maintaining that 3 to 7 inch. So we've already had 0.2. I think the fact that I put the 3 to 7 out there before we had the snow, Veterans Day, puts my my expectation right there in the running, right? So if someone comes along, Johnny come lately, and they put out a snow forecast, I'm way ahead of it. But no, I don't expect snow here. I think it's more of a problem for travelers going back home on Saturday or Sunday. Hopefully that helps. Now, we've talked about this cold air in areas around the Arctic. The Arctic air rotates counterclockwise typically, but sometimes there's a displacement. Sometimes there's a reversal, and this is what's called a sudden stratospheric warming event. It's naturally occurring, but when it does, it moves that air back over Canada and down into the United States. And so many times when it happens, people say, it's the polar vortex. Oh my goodness, I didn't see that coming. Well, that's why I said it's kind of like what I've said before. It's like I didn't see that big wave coming for the stand-up paddleboard. I had to sit down with my dog because the waves were so big. That may be where we were. But when we look at the stratospheric warming event that's been taking place now for several days, going back to, I think, before November 18th, but this is when I captured it here. I wanted to show this to you because, as you may remember from middle school, right? Middle school, this is representative of 6 to 31 miles up in the sky. That is the stratosphere. We're looking generally about 11 miles up with this image. This is about 70 millibars. But this is November 30th, and when you see warm air up in the stratosphere, you have to conclude what? As warm air does what? We're coming back. Warm air rises, cold air sinks, right? And it sinks fast. So the redder it looks, the quicker it's going to come down, but it's not going to be instant. It's going to take usually about 30 days, sometimes 40. So when I'm looking at this around the 18th of November, it was strategic because I'm thinking December 18th, we're probably going to see some cold air. But then I looked at this November 19th, and I started to see some red in there. Do you see the red in there? That's even hotter at that level, around 11 miles up in the atmosphere. And then if you look one step further, I believe we have the 20th. It really turned hot, like it was on fire, right? All that red just north of Alaska was really starting to show up, and some of that cold air, modified as it may be, may work its way as far south as Hampton Roads. I suspect it will. It'll really affect places like Minnesota and the Great Lakes, but that was the 20th of November. Then we looked at this again last week, or this week. Looking at, this is the 24th. It doesn't look, it's a little more modified, but it's still showing some cold air, as this surge of cold air may come in waves, which is common. This was the 25th. This would suggest that maybe by the time we get to the 25th of December, and you say, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the date down here at the bottom. So this is the date, November 25th. If we could extrapolate 30 days from November 25th, is December 25th, which is Christmas. So I think it's fair to say it's not going to be balmy when we get to the holiday. I think around Hanukkah, during the time of Christmas and New Year's, it's going to be cold. Now, if you look at what happened today, because today is November 26th, I'm beginning to see this thing lock and reload. There's another red spot, another spot of red north of Alaska, and it's growing. So much like this map that we saw just a moment ago, and I'll come back on that map here, just like we were seeing on this map a moment ago, and it'll clear off the telestrator. See how it kind of rotates? These are like little lobes. They're just like boop, 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 boop. And so they're going to lock and reload, and so we'll get, catch the big wave, the wave of cold air. It eventually will come, and I expect we'll find reasons to watch the weather very closely heading into this Christmas. I did say, going back weeks ago, I said this winter was probably going to be more likely in November and December, first 2 weeks of January. It was going to be front-end loaded, and I said 3 to 7 inches with some locally higher amounts. We'll see. Some areas in North Carolina already got 2 inches. Don't believe me? Just ask them. I know there were some areas in parts of northeast North Carolina that said they had 2 inches of snow on Veterans Day morning before the sun came up. So it just depends on where you are. Now, our high temperature today, 72. Right? Normal high for this time of year is 59, but we hit 76, which was close, but no undertaking here. 1990, 1986, 1946. And I'm looking at the clock now, it's 8:07, I gotta keep moving. But when you add up all of these dates, 11 days above normal, 14 days below normal, and one normal day, which was the 61 here, that was the actual normal. It's so seldom you actually get a normal day. This is why I'm not a fan, I repeat, not a fan of the word should. This is where we should be. Well, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Tell the month of November, what day should we be? Because if you took all the normals, that'd be ridiculous. It's pretty rare to get the actual, like right on the mark, right? But today was 72, 71 the day before, it was 57 the day. So when you add all it up, you know what we are? We're near normal. I think it's like negative 0.1. And after they factor in the 72, it's probably close to 0, meaning we're not above normal, we're not below normal for November. It's a normal month. Take it for what it is. Does it seem like extremes? Yes, but you've been to Virginia Beach, you've been to the Outer Banks, you do get high tide and low tide. Where should the ocean be? Wherever it wants to be. That's what this is suggesting to me, and we're going to continue on a colder theme as we head through Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and of course Saturday for shoppers. Now, temperatures are getting colder now. It's 8:08. We're already beginning to see the temperatures begin to tumble. We're currently at 65 in Hampton, 63 in Cape Charles, 62 in Manio. And if you look at tonight's lows, I suspect tomorrow morning you're going to wake up on a special Thanksgiving day in the 30s for Franklin, Suffolk, Ahoskie, and about 41 for Elizabeth City, Virginia Beach, and Cape Charles. Duck, about 46, 41 Norfolk, and 35 for Matthews, and 40 for Newport News. You look at the temperature forecast, again, this is from today through tomorrow. It's obviously going to go back and forth a little bit, but it really doesn't get that warm. If we look at the national scene, even though it's not actively snowing at the moment in Chicago, they've got the flight delays. We're looking at this snowstorm that's beginning to show up in the Cascades and maybe more rain for Seattle. This has got the beginning, this is the genesis or beginning of a new storm that's going to impact Montana, North and South Dakota in the coming days, and hit Chicago by Saturday. So most of this, again, is just rotating around Green Bay and working its way into Michigan at this particular time. If you've got family that's still traveling into town, looks like they've got more rain right now in New York City. It's been raining around Albany, and if you look up toward New England, it looks like we've got showers across not only New Hampshire, but scattered throughout the state of Maine. Not much here. Most of the thunderstorms are now off the coast. If you've got a question, you got a thought, I got Kim. She's ready for snow, right? I can say this. No, I don't do a lot of baking, but if I had to bake cookies this holiday season, I probably need some butter or some flour. I need some ingredients, right? You need cold air, even though it's dry, like we're getting on Friday and Saturday. You need cold air to get the snow, and you know this. You had this big snowstorm, but if they come together, it's a beautiful thing if you're on Team Snow. But it's a nightmare if you have to drive through it and you don't like it. Or, I don't like driving in snow. I hear that all the time. I get it. But maybe it's the inner child in me that I like to pull out the sled, maybe do some snow angels. Some of you know what that was like back on February 19th. So stay tuned. This is called First Warning Live for a reason. We're obviously letting you know well in advance when I think that we can get some snow potential. I think we're going to see another surge of cold air as we get closer to Christmas time. All right, now big picture shows quiet weather. We did pick up, what did I say, 0.02. So we're now up to $1.50, 1.50 inches of rain so far for the month. We would need to double that just to get up to even. But this is likely to be a very below normal month. Tomorrow the new drought monitor will come out, but I don't have any rain for Thursday, Thanksgiving. I don't have any rain on Friday, and I don't have any rain on Saturday. Now again, Sunday is kind of off the chart here, but maybe a little bit of rain on Sunday, but likely to be well below the 3.1 inches of rain that is typical for the month of November. Temperatures right now as of 8 o'clock, 65 in Virginia Beach, is 65 in Hampton, 61 Suffolk, and 63 Chesapeake. We've got 65 in Moyock right now. Our friends in Nags Head, 63. Kiptopeke at 60, and it's 55 in Ahoskie. Now, you probably don't need me to tell you this, but you could be the meteorologist. Where's the cold front? Probably, I don't know, right in here? Is that right? Yeah, that's it. If it's 47 in Knoxville and it's 63 in Charlotte, ding, 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 you figured this out. And it's all about the wind direction. Because I'm sure in Knoxville it's more of, and Beckley's 38, I'm sure it's more northwesterly here, it's more southwesterly here. So really it's just a demarcation of where the temperatures are, the temperature gradient, huge from Richmond, 61 right now, and 38 Beckley, while it's 65 in Virginia Beach. This cold air in purple is just it's a canary in the coal mine. It's all going to cycle back around. It'll go a do-si-do as it like a little spoke. I was showing you like the spokes of a wheel, but it'll come back down. And eventually, like I said, this go around, it's going to be a nightmare for travelers heading in and out of Chicago, Milwaukee, but I think it'll be not a big problem here, obviously, unless you are connecting. Maybe someone you know and love has to go through Chicago by Saturday, Sunday. Future temperatures, looks like it's pretty cold. We've got that cool ooze, but I want to draw your attention to not only the blue, but the white. Do you see the white? That's what was showing up as purple on the other maps. That's the Arctic cold. And there's more of that showing signs of coming back down. Look at that, just oozing down by the 30th. We get into meteorological winter, which is December 1st, and it cycles back around, but it'll eventually get back down here. Look how cold that is by December 5th, and then it goes toward New England. It's going to come back around. It's priming the pump, as it were. So if you have any expectation of super warm days in the coming weeks, think again. I think the holidays will live up to its billing. Turn on the holiday music and turn up the volume, because you're going to have some great opportunities this Friday, this Saturday for shoppers, and I think it'll eventually come back just in time for the holidays too. Now, as far as this Climate Prediction Center, they're just looking at the next 8 to 14 days in this image. This is representative of December 4th through December 10th, and you can see for the Great Lakes, New England, it's below normal. South Texas, South Florida can expect above normal temperatures. It's now 8:13. I'm going to wrap up here in a few moments. 48 for a high temperature tomorrow. To be grateful if you live in Onancock and Bloxham and Saxus, about 49 for Chincoteague. If you're moving out and about tomorrow, Cape Charles, beautiful Cape Charles at 49, 48 in Exmoor, 48 in Exmoor, 52 for Kill Devil Hills, Nags Head and Duck, and about 51 for Roanoke Island, Wanchese, and Manio come Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. If you're going to be in Rodanthe, 52, beautiful Rodanthe, so much to be thankful for. If you're in the Outer Banks, 54 in Hatteras, 54 in Ocracoke. It's been a tough hurricane season, but thankfully there's nothing developing out in the Atlantic, so it's now pretty much a done deal. It officially ends, hurricane season does, on Sunday. Storm Prediction Center, looking at some colors. Oh no, usually we look at green, dark green, and yellow for scattered, but at this point, at this juncture, snowstorms are not going to catch the attention of the Storm Prediction Center. They're more interested in the convective weather, thunderstorms, severe 60-mile-an-hour gusts. We don't see any of that going on in the country through tomorrow morning. Nothing to see on Thanksgiving Day. That's to be thankful. Nothing to see on Friday. So maybe they too will get a chance to eat their turkey dinner without any fanfare. Meanwhile, for us, I can see that the clouds are thinning out. The winds are still busy, but we're going to wake up to a little bit of cirrus cloud cover, especially from about maybe Back Bay down toward Moyock, Elizabeth City. These would be a high, thin cirrus cloud, 7 a.m. They start to maybe move out, maybe cloud up briefly for duck, but that's noontime. Lots of sunshine at Hosky, Virginia Beach. Even these clouds thin out here. This is 4 p.m. More clouds from I-95 Richmond up to Williamsburg and maybe north of Exmoor. Winds again generally about 10 to 20, I think 10 to 15, picking up toward the evening. They may pick up a little bit more. But lots of stars tomorrow night, and that really ushers in the colder air as we'll be continuing on that path. 6 a.m. Friday. 6 a.m. Friday is going to feel like it's 25. 25 degrees. Is that warm enough for you? That's cold enough. So if you're shopping on Friday, getting a good deal, like I said, you're going to earn it. You'll earn every penny of it because, again, you have to endure the elements. Now, the rain chance comes in Sunday, big break on Monday, and then the next low comes up from Alabama and Georgia on Tuesday. So that's my expectation. I don't expect snow anytime in the short term. Thursday morning, that's Thanksgiving. You got to love it. Upper 30s, low 40s, or what choice do we have? You either love it or you hate it. 36 for Wakefield tomorrow morning. About 39 for Hampton, Suffolk, 41 Cape Charles and Virginia Beach, and about 48 Nags Head, Hertford about 42, and about 35, as I mentioned, in Matthews, 40 for Newport News. If you're lucky, daytime highs about 52. I'm convinced, and I'll say this again, I'm convinced the high temperature that will go down in the almanac will come in between midnight and 2 a.m. So if you happen to work the third shift, and worse yet, you're doing the third shift on Thanksgiving, understand that it'll probably still be in the upper 50s at that time. But by daytime, it'll be a slow bounce back up to 52, and we'll struggle to get there, I think, in the afternoon. About 53 for Franklin, double nickels for Elizabeth City, the harbor of hospitality, and Edenton, beautiful Edenton, a pair of fives, 49 for Cape Charles for daytime highs on Thursday. About 52 Smithfield, 52 Corolla, and about 48 for Melfa. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. So 45, 44 Friday and Saturday. The real cold air, when it's feeling like 21, 22, is coming in Saturday morning. And if you're not aware or keeping track, I call this deceiving sunshine. Because come Friday and into Saturday, especially Friday, you might look out the window. You probably maybe felt cooped up for the holiday with family and inside eating and watching football. But when you step outside, you're going to be shocked. Maybe you're going to be astonished. You like that word? You might be astonished how cold it is. You're like, man, it looks so nice outside, but now it's cold. Yeah, you're going to want layers. So layers will help. Showers come in late afternoon, evening, and then another break on Monday before we get more scattered showers on Tuesday from that system coming up from Alabama. So any questions, let me know. I do have some great happy shots. I'll end up on this. Wanted to show you the fall morning picture on York Street. This is from Colonial Williamsburg. Our friend Brian captured this image just a day or so ago. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And again, if you haven't been aware, the fall color is pretty much done in most parts of Virginia and North Carolina. There could be some exceptions. The brown areas late November is really the Outer Banks. but many of us are probably pulling out the rake soon if you haven't already. Kill Devil Hill's sunrise yesterday was gorgeous. Sandra Snyder captured this, and it was a beauty. Thank you so much, Sandra. You have a great gift with the camera. Appreciate all the beautiful shots, and we're grateful for that too. And we're grateful for Bradley. Bradley captured this sunrise today from Fort Monroe. Thank you, Bradley Fullwood, for capturing that picture. Also a gem indeed. So again, 52 tomorrow at the daytime high. Say hello to winter. And again, the first day of meteorological winter is December 1st. That's Monday. And so it goes. We'll be buckling our seatbelt, getting ready for some changes, I'm sure, no doubt. I got a note from, let's see here. Lars wanted to know about any update on D.C. D.C. may have had a few showers. In fact, I think what we could do, is that the question? I think that is the question. Hold on. Let me see if I can get you here. I think I've got the radar. Looks like D.C.'s improving, right? So if I just pull up here, how cool was that? Boy, I was able to conjure that up. It looks like D.C.'s fine. The rain showers have moved into South Jersey, headed toward Atlantic City, and it's moving through Kent County, Sussex County, Delaware. We only have 3 counties. That's my home state, by the way. So the fact that I know all 3 counties and was the under-12 soccer champ when I was a kid in the state of Delaware, I always impressed my Texas wife. I said, I'm a state champion in soccer from the state of Delaware. And she's like, how many counties do you have? And I said 3. So then she wasn't impressed. But that's the way it goes. More information than you care to know. D.C. is drying out. I hope you all have a wonderful, special holiday for Thanksgiving. Don't forget, if you want some free cheesy bread tonight, we already know that there are some people who are going to enjoy some free pizza coming in the mail, but you don't have to wait. If you want right now, you can get some free cheesy bread. It's pictured here at the top right using the promo code WTKR, cheesy with a Z. Very easy to do. The first 100 out the door. No purchase necessary. You can share this, you can screenshot it, whatever you want to do, but Marcos wants you to have something special. And if you are needing some food this holiday, what better way than to get some free cheesy bread? There are 6 locations that are participating in the free contest, the free cheesy bread. These are the 6 locations. And next week, Thursday, we're going to be giving away free pizza on that Thursday as well. But if you want to sign up, so you only have to sign up once. Go to WTKR.com/Marcos. Very thankful for them, and also very thankful for all of you. Check out their great items because there are some great things. Doesn't that pizza look good? Sometimes when you get tired of turkey, you might be wanting, let's order a Marcos. Be a good idea. Anyway, just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or it's serious, if it's warm or if it's snowy. It doesn't matter, because every day, if you really think about it, and the older I get, the more it makes sense. Every day is a gift. It's a gift. And what you do with it is up to you. Make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here next time. And happy Thanksgiving.